solving relevant in the consulting industry. By objectives, we'll look at what is meant by problem solving. Then we'll look at problem statement. Then we'll look at problem solving process. Then we'll look at the steps of problem solving process. Then we'll look at the tools for problem solving. Then we'll look at the Pareto principle for problem solving. We'll discuss the scientific methods of problem solving. Then we'll look at brainstorming process for problem solving. Then we'll look at root cause analysis for problem solving. Then we'll look at SWOT analysis for problem solving. By introduction, let's look at this introductory case. Eric Smith was appointed as the secondary lead software tester to work under the primary lead tester, John Walden. Both Rick and John work for SoftSol, a leading software solution company which develops various kinds of software solutions for its esteemed customers. John is due to go on a vacation very soon and had applied for the same about 6 months back. In John's absence, the complete responsibility of the testing of the software now lies on Rick's shoulders. While John was away, after a few days, many of the software releases were delayed due to the software not passing the quality test. All the customers were complaining that they were unable to get their software on time as promised. The time when John was away on vacation was a true test on Rick's job, as several clients' complaints were received due to the delay. Also, many bugs were detected just before the release of the software. The client complaints and the penalties that software had to pay due to the delays in delivering the software costed thousands of dollars of loss. Also, company reputation was tarnished. Some customers were lost forever as they vowed not to return back. Rick was lost as to what has happened. The software were to be released and were not supposed to have so many bugs so late in the development process. Rick just could not pinpoint the root cause of the problem. In such situations, several problem-solving tools such as root cause analysis, cause effects, or fishbone diagram, or 5 whys technique can prove to be extremely useful and can prove to be a boon to companies as well as their employees like Rick. If Rick had used any of the problem-solving techniques, then he would have been easily able to find that the cause of the problem was due to the fact that several past builds already had many bugs in them, which were not completely solved before moving to the next version of the build. Also, John had not completely briefed Rick on handling all the project, due to which Rick had no idea where all projects stood. Hence, you can see how using several problem-solving methods could have helped Peter drill down to the main root of the problem and then find the solution to the problem. The solution here would be to eliminate the bugs at the build level rather than at the complete developed software level. Hence, problem solving helps dictate problems as well as solve them efficiently. So what do we mean by problem solving? Problem solving is the process of working through details of a problem to reach a solution. Problem solving may include mathematical or scientific operations and can be a gauge of an individual's critical thinking skills. Now, what are the importance of problem solving? Problems get solved depending on the skills which the managers possess or which the consultants possess, their proactivity, responsiveness, and their management style. There is no definite problem solving model that works in all given situations and with all management styles. Stages of problem solving: we'll have symptoms of the problem. Then from there, we'll move to problem identification. Then we'll go to definition of the problem. We'll go to finding out the causes of the problem. Then we'll find alternatives for solving problem. And in the alternatives, we should look at the consequences and impact of each of these alternatives. And then we'll look at the choice of solution. Now, what is a problem statement? Problem statement refers to the issues that need immediate attention from decision-making team. Before the team tries to achieve a particular purpose, they should provide or they should be provided with a defined problem statement. So the problem statement inevitably gives us a definition or give us clarity on what the problem is. A problem statement contains what is the problem, who has the problem, or who is the client or customer, and what form can the resolution be. Okay, what is the problem, who has the problem, or who is the client or customer, and what form can the resolution be, or what form can the solution take. Now, for what is the problem, this should explain why the team is needed to solve the problem. The problem should be defined in clear terms. For who has the problem, or who is the client or customer, this should explain who needs the solution and who will decide the problem has been solved. For what form can the resolution take, we'll look at what is the scope and limitations in time, money, resources, technologies that can be used to solve the problem. Does the client want a white paper, a web tool, a new feature for a product, a brainstorming on a topic? The primary purpose of a problem statement is to focus the attention of the problem-solving team. The primary purpose of the problem statement is to focus the attention of the problem-solving team. A research-worthy problem statement is the description of an active challenge. The research-worthy problem statement should address all 6 questions of what, how, where, when, why, and who. On the other hand, a statement of the problem is 1 or 2 sentences that outlines the problem that is being addressed. We should put in mind that majority of the root causes of problems are hidden in the system, can be found through research, can be controlled by management, and can be removed through improvement. Now, let's look at the problem-solving process. Problem-solving process. The process of problem-solving includes the following stages. We have defined the problem, identify potential causes, analyze potential causes, draw conclusions, and make recommendations. Define the problem, identify the causes, analyze potential causes, draw conclusions, and then make recommendations. In defining the problem, this is the most important step in the process because it drives the analysis. Deal with facts, what is known to be true about the problem you are dealing with. Challenge assumptions, separate symptoms from actual problems. Develop a main question. Questions are most useful way to structure problems. The next step is to identify potential causes. We want to take our main question and identify more specific questions. Each of these questions can be further broken down into more granular questions. These questions can then be analyzed. A mutually exclusive, collectively exhaustive list of causes should be used for complete identification of all potential causes. The next step is to analyze potential causes. Once the questions are formulated, pick one or more of the subordinate questions to address. Identify the list of data sources that can be used to research your problem questions. Seek secondary data first. Time and cost permitting, seek primary data also. Then develop a work plan and assign the problem questions to different members of your team where possible. After all the primary and secondary data is collected, it must be synthesized. Team members need to develop common points of view regarding their research findings, so they should work together to synthesize the findings. A summary of the pertinent data should be developed that incorporates all of the research, especially conflicting viewpoints. And recommendations. The data summary should be paired with the problem questions. The main problem question should be addressed using the findings from the analyzed potential causes step. Where gap exists, make assumptions, but be sure to document them as such. Be sure that your answer to the problem questions can be substantiated using the data. Plan, do, check, and act. If something goes wrong, need if something goes wrong, need to be changed, need to be fixed and delivered. If you are 100% confident that your solution to the problem would be right, not once, but every time, how are you going to approach the situation? A process that will ensure to identify, develop, test, and implement. That's the plan, do, check, and act. So plan to identify and work on the problem, do by developing a potential solution, check on how effective and efficient is the solution, whether it can be improved on, and then act, implement final solution. Now, this plan, do, check, act seems to be a very simple problem-solving solution, but it has a lot of impact on quality. It has a lot of impact on improving products and services. It has a lot of impact on asking the right questions and getting the right results. It has a lot of impact on helping us know which kind of price to fix and what kind of cost to incur. All right. So plan, do, check, act is not just a simple statement, but it's a continuous improvement tool that can help us get better in our consulting exercises. So you had a consulting experience A with Mr. A, and after you've come back, remember your plan, you perform, and then you need to come back and do a review. For every consulting experience, you do a review to find out lessons learned. Okay, that will help you to improve on your next consulting experience or on your next project. The plan, do, check, act cycle gives confidence in your approach to problem solving and implement solutions to get best quality output. Plan, do, check, and act. Plan, do, check, and act. For those of us that had planned for 2020, it is time to begin to review all of the contents of the goals of 2020. We planned, we did. Now it's time to check, review all of the things that we've done based on the acts that we actually carried out, right? Okay, so you plan, you did, now you review, then you act again. You plan, you do, you check, you act. So go back and review all of those things: business goals, personal goals, financial goals, academic goals, professional goals, relationship goals, marital goals. All of those goals need to be reviewed. Then we'll now begin to check and find out for the ones that actually occurred, what did we do that made them come to reality? For the ones that didn't occur, what did we not do, or what did we not do right, or what energy did we put in? Let's assume that what we did was what was supposed to be done. Was there a particular energy that was supposed to be used? Was there a particular attitude that's supposed to be used? Now, those things are the things we now begin to consider. All right. You know, when I got to know about this plan, do, check, act, as simple as it is, I think it has benefited my life. It's something you can apply in a second to anything that you want to do. It's not a long-term process, okay? So before you do anything, you can use the PDCA circle to find out whether the quality at the end of the day will be worth it or not. All right, very, very important. The PDCA identifies exactly what the problem is. Use cause and effect diagrams to know the root cause of the problem. Then structure your process at the root cause of the problem. List down all the information or data you need that will help start sketching out possible solutions. Think and generate possible solutions. Select the best solution from all the listed solutions. Implement a trial project with a small group. Generate trial design, which is appropriate to the nature of the problem. 2021 is going to be a year of unimaginable economic exploits. And if you've never got to see it, it's time you begin to see it. It's going to be a year of unimaginable financial outbreak because there is going to be a whole lot of companies coming out to one, they want to get back on their feet. Companies are possibly going to double what they spent in previous years, they are possibly going to double it this year because they want to regain what have been lost. Of course, we've understood that the COVID gave a whole lot of people opportunity to improve and build new skills, which they are going to be exploiting in the year 2021. And not just 2021, but 2021 is going to be a launch into a new era of financial prosperity. Okay, so if you've never seen it, you need to position yourself to see it. No matter what the government does or what the government does not do, next year is going to be a year of unimaginable financial prosperity. Okay, it's going to be a year of unimaginable prosperity because by next year, irrespective of whatsoever happened, um, there had been a lot of opportunities that government at this moment do not have what it takes to regulate them. So people can now do transactions across board. All right, people can now do transactions across board. All right, so that open market, that um, COVID world now actually brought opportunity for open market, a global market, accessible global market. That opportunity to access the global market is going to be a whole wonderful opportunity that is going to make 2021 a worth working year. Of course, 2021 there is no political election, so politically we have some level of. I'm talking of Nigeria as a case. I don't know about other countries. Um, but if you don't have political cases or political elections that will affect the economy, we are not praying for any other outbreak by next year. But should there be any other outbreak that will even keep people inside? People have already built the skills of making money indoors, right? So that will not even be a very big challenge to them. And also, it's important to realize that there had been a whole lot of massive innovations that came out via COVID-19 quarantine period, right? So there had been a whole lot of innovations, okay? And also, it's important to know that by 2021, although there may be visa restrictions to due to the whole COVID thing anyway, but globally, countries are beginning to realign to global concepts. All right, so organizations are going to or countries, right, are going to open up their global space or going to open up for the global space, which makes everyone come to one spot. So government has little or no regulation on that. All right, the internet had made it a very wonderful thing. So if you have not realized that, I think I need you to realize that right now. And I need you, whether you believe it or yes, that's just the reality. If you've not believed it, you need to go back and convince yourself that 2021 is filled with massive opportunities. There are so many energies that we are not used in 2020 that people are going to carry over to 2021 and they are going to double it with the energy of 2021. So imagine the kind of prosperity that will be. Okay, imagine the kind of prosperity that will be. And in case you've never had any plan for your life before, when I mean plan, I mean you don't have documented plan. This before this year runs out, you need to start documenting a plan. At least start with 2021. What do you want to achieve in 2021? If you must consult, start with yourself first. Consult for yourself first. Get results from yourself first before you start talking about consulting for others. All right. So while you are doing that, you're going to do a plan, do, check, act process in your exercise. Okay. Some of us now need to start reaching out to some people, start building brochures, start working on what do you call it? Start working on um, curriculum, start working on our website, start working on our pages. We need to start working on some of our journals or articles and all of that because 2021 is a year that even the dumbest person will be rich. 2021 is the year that even the dumbest person, the dumb of the dumb will be very rich. And you know the most fascinating thing about this whole thing I'm talking about? The most fascinating thing is that the new era we are launching into is the era of consulting. That's the era we are going into. So anyone that is in this preparatory process right now and now opening your eyes to seeing the opportunities, you're going to make a whole lot of things come to reality. To be a sales executive, you don't need to leave your house. You don't need to leave your company right now to be a sales executive. Okay. You don't need to leave where you're working to get a job at another place. In fact, the model of work is changing now. Okay, for those of us that want to go into HR consulting, the model of work is changing now. Most people are working remotely, so it is now a thing of like people are now the one hiring organizations rather than organizations hiring people. So I could actually sit in the comfort of my house and have 5 to 10 organizations I work for, right? Rather than the other way around. So those of us that want to go into HR consulting, I think more of what we need to do is find out people who have different competencies and can deliver results excellently. Then look out for companies who need such people and create the network. Okay, and that will give you much more better results than waiting for people to come and apply through you. Then you start going to look for companies and then start fixing them. No. Let's turn it. The funnel has actually turned upside down, right? So whichever one you're doing, try the plan, do, check, act. It's going to help quite a lot. Measure how the plan, do, check, act measures how effective the pilot solution has been so far. List down all learning and analyze which section can be done even better. Repeat, do, and check tools after implementing additional improvement. Then once you get the final sketch and benefits for your problem, move to the final phase. Implement your final solution. Use Kaizen approach for continuous improvement. Kaizen approach is the approach of continuous improvement. Every time and every moment improvement. Identify new solutions and improvements that are repeated frequently. Look back to the plan phase and find about if the whole PDCA cycle needs further improvement. The plan to check out is a simple and effective approach for problem solving. It ensures that ideas are fully tested before full implementation and makes a quality change. It begins with planning phase where the problem is identified, generating a potential solution, testing and implementing selected solution, and then PDCA cycle can be used in product development, manufacturing sectors, marketing sectors, consulting, and all of that, whichever one you want to use. Appreciation inquiry. Solving problems by looking at what is going right. You know, in safety, health, safety, and environment, we have what we call unsafe art auditing. Unsafe art auditing. And unsafe art auditing, the process of unsafe art auditing is a process of appreciative inquiry. Okay. So what do we mean by appreciation inquiry? You start first with what is being done right. By appreciating what is being done right, you create an environment to easily find out what is not working. Okay. So let's take, for instance, psychologically, if you have a child that takes first position and all of a sudden the child takes third position, and then instead of going to fight the child or flog the child, you first of all appreciated the child, still maybe you even did more than you used to do while he was taking the first position. Then at the long run, you try to find out from the child what really happened. How did you come to this point? It's easy for the child to talk to you at that time because he believes that actually you don't really have anything against him or her. All you were actually intentional about is to help him or her. It is easy for that baby or that child to talk to you at that time. But when a child just comes home and all you have to do is that you flog him or her very well, and it takes like 1, 2, 3 weeks before you're not asking what really happened. In fact, for the next 2, 3 weeks, the baby will be hiding from you. Okay, so in appreciation inquiry, we'll start solving problems by first of all looking at what is going on right. And this appreciation inquiry, we can start with our own life, we can start with our own business. All right. Appreciation means to recognize contribution, things, and people around us. Inquiry means to discover, explore, find new techniques and possibilities. Appreciation and inquiry combined together, we get a valuable tool to solve present situation and learn the way to bring effective positive change in the future. Now, so many of us have set so many targets this year. Some we are gotten, some we are not gotten. Maybe the ones that we really wanted to get, we didn't get them. So first of all, for appreciative inquiry to work, or appreciation inquiry rather, you first of all have to appreciate yourself for the goals that we have gotten. And then you begin to ask yourself the questions of why is it that these ones we are not gotten? Okay. You need to appreciate yourself for the ones you've gotten so far. Okay. In case you've not taken yourself out since the year began, and if they asked you, you say it's because of COVID, you need to first of all take yourself out, give yourself a cool bottle of yogurt or whichever one that you drink. But I prefer yogurt because it will calm your brain. Don't take the one that will start doing ta 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 on your brain. Okay. Then with that, you will now calm down and begin to study afresh. Begin to look things afresh. Okay. Huh. That will help. There are 5D approach to the appreciation inquiry. You have the 5 problem discover phase, the discovery phase, then you have the dream phase, you have the design phase, and you have the deliver phase. Define what you're looking at. Then on the discovery phase, need to look for what has best happened in past and what is currently working well. In my simple way of encouraging people, very simple way to get successful, find what is working for you and keep working it. At least for the time being, find what is working for you and then keep working it. That is a very simple rule of success. Okay, find what is working for you and then keep working it. Don't we yesterday we said yes, in critical thinking copying is good, all right, but while you're copying you must also use your ingenuity in mixing all of the elements you've copied so as to find a good result. All right, so find out what is working for you and then keep it working. And whatever thing that is working for you must be moral, must be legal, must be righteous, must be human, and must be civic. Very important. On dream phase, dream what might be and take positives. And take positive you identify through brainstorming creative and innovative ideas that the team could accomplish. Yes, why we are setting all the big goals, remember to start from the smaller ones. But remember that whatsoever as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So don't ever limit yourself. Yesterday, when we were talking about critical thinking, we said one of the reasons, or creative thinking rather, one of the reasons people are so blinded or so dumb is that we actually think we're actually learning something. Any learning that will constrict your mind is not learning, is captivity. Okay, any learning that will constrict your mind is captivity. It is not learning. Any learning that will make you underutilize your capacity is not learning, is captivity, is bondage. So no matter what you're learning, whether you're a PhD holder, master's, it doesn't matter. Always learn to do yourself a favor. Throw those certificates behind and open your mind to learn more. Whatsoever you've gotten, okay? I learned something from one of my mentors and it really humbled me. It really humbled me. You know, there is nothing wrong in all those affiliation of doctor, professor, barrister, and all of that. There's nothing wrong with this. But I've been with this man for years. I never knew this man had a PhD. But the way he teaches, you know that there is something unique about this man. It doesn't require a PhD to teach like that anyway. But it took me about 3 years to discover that this man had a PhD. And not just an ordinary PhD, not from Nigeria or no, he had his master's, his PhD, all in UK. Very quiet, delivering value without carrying logo on his head. Okay, delivering value without carrying logo on his head. The day I observed that the man was a doctor, I said, forever and ever in my life, should I come and put in my name, doctor? What does that? It doesn't add value. Those logo doesn't add value. It's better discover itself than just be carrying logo. Okay, carrying logo. There are some things that if I talk about them now, somebody might think but it's annoying. It's really annoying. What I mean annoying is not the affixation we put to our name. So no, it's not the annoying thing. The annoying thing is that our names, some of us, all the appellations we put in the name does not represent the value that the name carries. Okay, so those kind of things get to be boring. Okay, I have quite a number of people that have PhD in business administration, but they can't write a business plan. So what is it all about? I have so many people that have PhD in management, yet they cannot decipher simple management problems and provide solutions. So what is why are you bearing the name doctorate? The truth is that most of us just carrying doctor, we just want to end up as lecturers. The greatest ambition is just to end up as lecturers, not to create value. And that is not where the solution is. We need to come off all of these things, throw away this doctor, Mrs., doctor, barrister, engineer, Mrs. Those things doesn't really make, the logos doesn't have any relevance to your name. What has relevant to your name is the value that you create. Okay, the values that you create. Okay, so let's ask a simple question. What's the value of you being a doctor and you don't earn up to 200,000 in a year, or sorry, in a month? And somebody perhaps who may just have a BSc is earning 10 times or even 20 times or 100 times of whatsoever thing you earn as a salary. What's the essence? You know, I'm yet to see professors that are making a very big difference. I'm yet to see. Do you know why? We have learned so much that we've not allowed the knowledge that was. Remember, everything we are learning, they are all generated by someone. Okay, every knowledge we are learning about, they are all generated by someone. So if we allow someone's knowledge to constrict our own knowledge, what knowledge should actually do to us is to expand our capacity, not to shrink it. But unfortunately, what most of the knowledge available to us does is to shrink our thinking capacity. Huh? So somebody is going for PhD, and I ask him, what's your aspiration? The aspiration is that he want to get a lecturing job. That's why so is that the end of life? There are so many of us that have never applied for lecturing job, but we have the privilege of having schools call us to come and lecture those who are lecturing. You see, let's make this thing simple. If I were you, I would remove all these things that are hindering me from moving forward, and I will focus on creating value around my name. Okay, around my name. I will focus on creating value for the people that I feel they are the ones I am created to solve problems for. Okay, you know, if you are a problem solver, one day you find yourself, you receive the same school that you might have written to apply, or you applied for your PhD and they said no. If you keep adding value, one day there is a degree of problem, the depth that you would have attained in problem solving. The same school will call you and say, can we give you an honorary doctorate? Don't come to class. Don't just come and collect. You have no need now. You will see that you are produced. Come and take a doctorate. So some of these things we are breaking our head for, constricting our mind. No. Yeah. Consulting should be an open-minded thing. It should be an open-minded thing. Okay, it should be open-minded. Okay, don't allow all of those things we are scrambling to read, and no, don't allow those things to limit your full capacity. Don't ever allow your certificate to limit your full capacity. Don't ever allow your title to limit your full capacity. Don't ever allow your profession to limit your full. You have more than enough capacity that you can ever think of. You know, sometimes when I talk like this, people get angry with me. Yes, when I talk like this, sometimes people get angry with me because they feel like I'm insulting those who spend all their time and energy going to. There is nothing wrong in going for PhD. As for me, We'll still add more. We'll keep adding, okay? But not for the purpose of title, but for the purpose of finding solutions. Okay, if I end up having 20 PhDs before I leave this earth, I think that will be small. But for the fact that we leave, we'll keep adding knowledge, but we shouldn't add, we should be adding relevant and practical knowledge that should solve problems, not adding titles. My challenge is not the knowledge, my challenge is the title. And since our ambition is much more of title, the title constricts the knowledge itself and makes the knowledge almost irrelevant, such that we only know the letters of the knowledge. We don't have a full understanding of the knowledge. All right. So that's where my own challenge is, right? But everyone that is an academic doctor, whatever doctor you are, engineer, you are doing well. All right. Okay. So in the dream phase, we need to be creative, we need to be innovative, we need to brainstorm. Then in the design phase, look at the practicalities needed to support the vision. Start focusing on processes and strategies. Implementation phase requires a lot of planning and preparation, ensuring dream, which is the vision, is the focus point. It should support and sustain the dream. 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 I want to give an assignment to everyone here. If the reason why you have pursued an MBA or pursued a DBA or a PhD or a professional certification was to get a job, your vision is actually very small. Your goal is very small. So you need to go and find out the bigger vision. Remember, if we must go global, then we must have a global vision. Okay? If we must go global as consultants, then we must have global vision. All right? We must have what? Global vision. So in case you've not developed a global vision, you have to go and develop one. We are getting certified by a global body, so we should have a global vision that should work in line with our global abilities. All right? When faced with your next challenge or problem, take a step back and look at it from the standpoint of what is good and is currently working well. This positive perspective brings about a whole new set of positive solutions you and your team may not have previously discovered. Use this process to give your organization looking at itself in unique and positive ways. The deliver phase of the circle is so much an end. It's not so much an end, but a place to begin to reevaluate and continue the process of appreciative inquiry to continuously improve. Once you embrace the idea of positive change, you can apply the circle over and over again to various aspects of your team or organization and enjoy the positive outcomes that this approach brings. Tip, you can find sources for potential problem solving from areas like escalations, machine failures, customer complaints, credit notes, customer surveys, quality assessments, and so on. Now, quickly, let's look at the steps of problem solving process. So the first one is defining the problem. The second one is gathering information and collecting data. The third one is developing and weighing the options. Then the fourth one is choosing best possible option. Then fifth one is plan and execute. Then sixth is take follow up and action. So you have to review. The tools for problem solving. So I have the cause and effect diagrams or fishbone diagrams. We have Pareto analysis and we have the 5 whys. So let's look at each of them and what they have to tell us. In the 5 whys technique of problem solving, you have to ask a series of questions to identify the sequential causes of failure that led to the problem. Then next, you have to find the cause and effect failure part. So you have to keep asking why questions to find each preceding trigger till you reach the root cause of the incident. The 5 whys technique will help you to find the cause and effect relationship between different parts of the problem. You can conduct 5 whys technique for problem solving without using any elaborate worksheet, diagrams, or flowcharts, as it does not entail large, detailed investigation requiring many resources. This is a simple and stress-free method to reach the root cause of the problem. The process of the 5 why technique, you can use the 5 whys technique as follows for problem solving. The answer to the second why The answer to the second why question then turns into the third question. Okay, so we start. Let's start from here. Start with the problem statement of the problem and ask why it occurred. Then use the answer to the first why question and turn it into the second why question. The answer to the second why question then turns into the third why question. Then you repeat till you have asked at least 5 whys till you reach the root cause of the problem. Now, let's look at the Pareto principle for problem solving. Most of us have heard of the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. So how does the 80-20 rule work in problem solving? The Pareto principle states that 20% of the input, which could be time, resource, effort, etc., account for 80% of the output as results in effort, or results and reward rather. This means that whether it is a business or an individual, you get 80% of your result from just 20% of your time and effort. Therefore, 80% of your errors occur from 20% of your activities. Once you realize this, it is easy. Sorry, please. Once you realize this, it is easy to find root causes for solving problems. Every organization can use 80-20 rule or Pareto principle to reduce or eliminate useless activities, errors, or defects, and can significantly improve productivity and prevent problems. The 80-20 rule helps us focus on those activities that bring us the higher return and also cause the maximum errors. Implementing a strategy based on the 80-20 rule can lead to increased productivity, maximize profit, greater leisure time, and overall improvement for everyone at work. The process of Pareto principle, you have decide how you will classify your problems. You can do this by taking into consideration the reason for customer complaints, customer surveys, or explaining or examining the reward aspect of your process. Now, make a list of all the preliminary list of problems categories. Try and keep the preliminary problem categories to a maximum of 6 or 7. Consider and decide on a time frame or other scope limitations on the material you will consider. Keep in mind that the time frame or scope you choose should represent the whole process that you are examining. Now, for each problem category, tally the frequency of the occurrences. You can tally under a category order for any problem that does not fit in any of your classifications. For each classification, determine the total occurrences or total costs or total time. Now, sum up all these totals to get a grand total. Find the cumulative percentage under each problem classification by dividing each classification total by the grand total. This shows the percentage of each individual problem classification out of all the problems. List and arrange the problem classification in order from highest value or most frequent to lowest value or least frequent. You should always arrange the other category at last, even if it is larger than some of the others. That's in this case, that's other categories that might not be relevant to what you're checking out at the moment. Take a graph and draw a horizontal axis and 2 vertical axes. Mark the left vertical axis in increment from 0 to the grand total. Mark the right vertical axis in increment from 0 to 100%. Construct the vertical bar diagram. The height of each bar corresponds with the value or number of occurrences on the left axis and percentage of the total on the right axis. Okay, all of these are wonderful. I'm going to move on. That will have the cause and effect. So Pareto principle simply defines that 20% of the input we give to ourselves give us 80% of the results that we expect. So 20% of the time you use in training, in investing in reading, and all of that, we account to 80% of the results you get out of the knowledge that you've acquired. That's a typical example. Okay, 20% of whatsoever or all of the results you get from your organization is a function of 20% of effort, which could be 20% of effort of time, resource, and other inputs. So we must find all the critical inputs that would define the most important results of our life. Then we have the cause and effect diagram, or the fishbone, just as the name is. For every cause, there is an effect. For every cause, there is an effect. So to find a problem using a cause and effect diagram, you could list all the possible sources of the problem or the possible causes, um, and then you begin to highlight all the effects. Okay, so you have cause and you have effect, cause and effect. So with that, you will know the ones that have high level priority, middle level priority, and low level priority. The cause and effect diagrams, also known as fishbones or Ishikawa diagrams. The fishbone diagrams can help you identify all possible causes and effects of a problem. Fishbone is used for conducting complex root cause analysis. The main problem statement is written near the head or mouth of the fish. The possible categories or causes are written near bigger bones. The secondary causes are listed on smaller bones under main categories. So as you move from the head to the tail, you categorize the problem from the highest to the least. Okay. Steps to create a fishbone diagram. Step 1, define the problem statement specifically and clearly. Write it near the head or mouth of the fish. Number 2, draw branches from the fish as bigger bones and then write the name of each major cause as a category near each big bone. Then step 3, draw smaller branches from each big bone to indicate smaller bones, and then write names of secondary causes as per major category they relate to. Step 4, draw sub-causes branching off the smaller branches. Step 5, dig deeper and continue organizing the causes under the related causes or categories. Then drill down and reach the root causes under each category that can help prevent future problems. Okay, the fishbowl diagram was developed by, okay, I don't think that was mentioned here, but let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's see if anybody could make a good attempt. If you've heard of fishbone or cause and effect diagram before, let's have your answer, either by guess or by actual um, knowledge. So who invented fishbone diagram? A, B, C, D. Please, let me have your answer in the chat room. A, B, C, D, by guess or by actual knowledge. You can write and let's see. A, B, C, D. I'm waiting. Who is the first to write? The fishbone diagram was developed by Dash. Nobody's saying anything, even if it's by gaze. Okay, so I have Kaoru Ishikawa. Your answer came wonderfully on time. Okay, so I have Kaoru Ishikawa. Okay, so let's look at the scientific methods of problem solving. We've looked at objective methods. Let's look at the scientific methods of problem solving. Scientific methods of problem solving. Scientific methods of problem solving. We have the intuitive method, we have the short model formula, we have the full model formula. So let's look at what each one is trying to say. For the intuitive thinking, enables you to unconsciously utilize hundreds to many thousands of bits and pieces of knowledge you possess in memory. Many intuitions may be so important, so too many errors of intuition can hurt your success, relationship, um, reputation, for problem solving and decision making skills. Short model formula. The short model formula is needed as it is easily remembered formula. It is important, but urgency is so great. There is no time to go through a long process. It is available in every place or situation. For the full model formula, There are three ingredients which are considered necessary to apply this formula. Number one, creative, non-logical, logical, and technical methods, procedural principles and theories. They will have attributes and thinking skills. Did you know that SWOT analysis is useful and is not limited to only profit-seeking organizations? SWOT analysis may be used in any problem-solving situation when a desired end state objective has been defined. Hence, it can also be used for problem-solving in non-profit organizations, governmental units, and for individuals. SWOT analysis may also be used in pre-crisis planning and preventive crisis um, management. Then we have what we call the simplest process. Simplest is a powerful step-by-step tool that helps identify and solve problems creatively and effectively. It helps in business where you can skip important steps in problem solving and important step in problem solving process and get good solutions to the issue. The simplest process is finding problem or problem finding, then finding facts, problem definition, idea finding, evaluation and selection, planning, acceptance, and then action. For the finding problem or for finding of problem, the most difficult part of the creative process is finding the right problem. Existing problems will bring you opportunities for change and improvement and makes problem finding a valuable skill. This is the first step in simplest model, and below are the few questions that will come across. What would our customers want us to improve? What are what are they complaining about? What could they be doing better if we could help them? Who else could could we help by using our core competencies? What small problems do we have which could grow into bigger ones? And where could failures arise in our business process? What slows our work or makes it more difficult? What do we often fail to achieve? Where do we have bottlenecks? How can we improve quality? What are our competitors doing that we could do? What is frustrating and irritating to our team? Simplest process number two. The next stage is to research the problem. Effective fact finding confirms the view of the situation and ensure future problem solving has accurate view and reality. Below list helps you to understand fully how different people perceive the situation, analyze data to see if the problem really exists, explore the best ideas that your competitors have had, understand competitors' needs in more detail, know what has already been tried, and then understand fully any process, components, services, or technologies that you may want to use, and then ensure that the benefit of solving the problem will be worth the effort that you put into solving it. We have the problem definition. The next stage is to identify the exact problem you want to solve. Make sure to solve the problem at right level. If questions are too broad, then resources will be short to answer them effectively. If questions are too narrow, then you will end up fixing symptoms of the problem rather than problem itself. Make sure or make the big problem into many smaller ones. Use techniques like drill down to break the problem into smaller ones. 5 why techniques, cause and effect analysis, and root cause analysis helps to get into the root of the problem. No matter how big a problem is, it has a solution. Just find the possible solution. And one of the best ways to solve problem is to first of all understand it, then break it down to smaller versions, and then look at the versions of smaller elements, and then begin to find the root cause from each of those elements. Then idea finding. The next stage is to generate problem. Uh, the next stage is to generate problem-solving ideas. Present your ideas to people and ask opinions. Have a brainstorming session through creativity tools and thinking techniques. Try to look at the problem from another angle and perspective. Have a reframing matrix which helps you to concentrate on do's and don'ts. Get random input from people to have new ideas. Do not evaluate or criticize in this stage. Instead, just concentrate on generating new ideas. Sometimes some impractical ideas can often generate new ideas. Then idea finding. The next, sorry, going forward and back. The next one is evaluation. The next stage is to select the best possible solution. Use techniques like decision-making techniques, decision tree analysis, grid analysis. If your idea does not work or does not bring enough benefit, then see if you can generate new ideas or restart the whole process. Few techniques which are helpful include risk analysis, explore things where things go wrong, impact analysis, a framework for exploring consequences of your decisions. Force field analysis explains the pros and cons against the change. 6, thinking hard, which helps you to explore, to make valid decision making. Then we have planning. After selecting the idea, then the next stage is to plan its implementation. Action plans helps you to manage simple projects. They sympathize or they emphasize on layout of who, what, when, where, and why, and how of delivering the project. Build project management skills which will be used to deliver implemented projects successfully within the given deadline. Draw a Gantt chart to plan your deliverables phase by phase and to deliver the whole project in a specified time. Acceptance. You have almost finalized the plan now and ready for final implementation. In this stage, test your idea with small team and know if implemented process is running smoothly. Learn if you can improve your idea at any stage in the process. Look at the problem from other perspectives and analyze if it causes any adverse effects at any stage. Your implementation has an impact on several people. Make sure people support your idea. Action. This is the last stage of the whole process, and your creativity and preparation comes into action. Ensure process is implemented smoothly. Once the action is running smoothly, you might again look at first stage problem finding to continue improving your data. Use tools like Kaizen principles for continuous improvement. So the simplest process key points. Simplest is a powerful tool or powerful approach to creative problem solving. It can be used for projects and organizations of almost any scale. Upon completion of the 8 stages, you start it again to find and solve another problem. Wrong number. The process follows an 8 stage cycle. This helps to ensure continuous improvement. These 8 stages ensure that you solve the most significant problems with the best solutions available to you. So this process can help you to be intensely creative. Now, quickly, let's look at the drill down approach. Just like the name is, get to the root of the matter, drill down, root cause analysis. This technique describes about breaking a complex problem into progressively smaller parts. Write down problems on a sheet of paper and list down the points relating to the problem, like factors, information, questions, and potential solutions that need to be created at each stage. This is called drilling down. For each point listed, repeat the process until you fully understand the factors that are contributing to the problem. Now, quickly, let's look at the brainstorming process for problem solving. Okay. There are different ways to brainstorm, but the general structure of developing and conducting brainstorming session remains the same, such as follows. A problem statement, issue, or topic is presented to the group of participants. Participants are encouraged to brainstorm all possible ideas which could solve the problem at hand. Ideas presented during the brainstorming sessions are recorded or written down for future reference and use. Focus on quantity rather than quality, with the main aim being to generate as many ideas as possible in a short time. Generally, after a certain time period has elapsed, the list ideas presented during the brainstorming session are further analyzed and discussed. Each idea is further discussed, analyzed, and looked at as a possible solution. Then a final ranked list of ideas is prepared as possible solutions towards solving the problem. The following are some of the brainstorming techniques used for brainstorming ideas. We have the split group brainstorming, silent brainstorming, large group brainstorming, structured brainstorming, unstructured brainstorming, reverse brainstorming, question brainstorming, free form brainstorming, nominal group brainstorming, and then we have team idea mapping. Now, for split group brainstorming, technique is typically used when there is a very large group of participants present in the brainstorming session, about more than 30 participants. Such brainstorming session proves to be very dynamic due to the large number of group, due to the large group of people presenting a wide array of ideas, opinions, and so on. Then we have the silent group or silent brainstorming technique is known as the write it down brainstorming techniques. Silent brainstorming technique is mainly used when the facilitator feels that the participants will dominate the conversation. Then you have the large group brainstorming. The large group brainstorming technique is typically used when there is a very large group of participants present in the brainstorming session, about 15 to 30 participants. Structured brainstorming technique is also known as one at a time brainstorming technique. In this technique, facilitator asks each individual to present his or idea about problem or topic being brainstormed. Unstructured brainstorming technique is also known as the open door brainstorming technique. Reverse engineering is also known, or reverse brainstorming rather, it's also known as topsy-turvy brainstorming technique. So just as the name is reverse, instead of starting from the top, we'll start from the bottom, right? Then we'll have the question brainstorming, also known as starburst brainstorming. So each of these things are just synonymous to their names. Okay, the free form brainstorming technique is one of the simplest techniques that you can use to effectively generate several ideas and solutions to any problem or situation that you may be facing. They have the nominal group, just as the name is nominal group, is an advanced technique that further builds on silent brainstorming. They have the team idea mapping brainstorming technique, work based on theory of association. The participants of the brainstorming session are presented with a very clear, well-defined topic. Okay, because of time, I may have to skip through this and then go to the next one. Problem solving and root cause analysis. Problem solving and root cause analysis. Root cause analysis is also known as RCA. It is a method that is used to deal with a problem, error, or failure by finding the root cause or reason for origin of the problem. The solution to the problem is then found by correcting or removing this root cause, and hence prevent the problem from repeating. What are the steps? We have specified the problem situation, understand the problem situation, take prompt action steps, take preventive action steps, and then establish the solution. Specify the problem situation. You should use the SMART rules to define your problem, which means they should be specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, time-bound, and all of that. Step 2, understanding the problem or understanding the problem situation. Okay, so because of time, I may have to also skip through this, but more essentially, you should be able to find out facts and figures, research on the situation to be able to understand it. Then take the prompt actions needed, and then take the preventive actions needed, establish the necessary steps so that the problem do not occur but have lasting solutions. Okay, so I want to end this first class by 3:30. Okay. Okay, so for those of us that have the manuals, can we please go through these case studies on our own so that we can have more insight. Then for SWOT analysis for problem solving, SWOT analysis is a technique founded by about Humphrey, who led a research project at Stanford University in the 1960s and 1970s. The acronym SWOT stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. It is used as framework for organizing and using data and information gained from situation analysis of internal and external environment. SWOT analysis enables a group or individual to handle every situation or handle everyday problems and look at traditional strategies from a new perspective. SWOT analysis is a planning tool used to understand the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats involved in a project or a business. Tip: as a facilitator of brainstorming session, it is crucial that you get the buy-in or acceptance from those who have participated in a brainstorming session, but those whose ideas were not accepted or not acted upon, you must always appreciate their efforts, encourage them for their contribution, both personally as well as in front of the whole group. Okay, we've dealt so much with strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and I may have to skip this area, or perhaps let me just run through it. Strengths are characteristics of a business or team that give it an advantage over others in the industry. Positive, tangible, and intangible attributes internal to the organization, beneficial aspects of the organization or the capabilities of an organization, which includes human competencies, process capabilities, financial resources, products and services, customer goodwill, and brand loyalty. Some of the examples of organizational strengths are as follows: abundant financial resources, established brand name, economies of scale, lower production costs, superior management, excellent marketing skills, good supply chain distribution, and great employee commitment. Weaknesses: characteristics that place the organization at a disadvantage relative to others, detract the organization from its ability to attain the core goal and influence its growth. Factors which do not meet the standards set in the organization. The examples are limited financial resources, low research and development budget, narrow product line, higher production costs, obsolete or out-of-date product or technology, poor market image and skills, weak management skills, under-trained employees. Opportunities are chances to make greater profits in the environment. External attractive factors that represent the reason for an organization to exist and develop. Condition of the environment that benefits the organization in planning and executing strategies that enable it to become more profitable. Organizations should be careful and recognize the opportunities and grasp them whenever they arise. Some of the examples are rapid market growth, complacent rival companies, changing customer needs and tastes, new uses discovered for existing product, economic boom, government deregulation, decline in demand for a substitute product. Then you have threats, external elements in the environment that could cause trouble for the business, external factors beyond an organization's control which could place the organization's mission or operation at risk, conditions in external environment that jeopardize the reliability and profitability of the organization's business. Threats are uncontrollable. When threats comes, the stability and survival can be at stake. Examples of threats are entry of foreign competitors, introduction of new substitute products, decline in product lifecycle, changing customer needs and tastes, new strategies adopted by rival firms, increased government regulation, economic slowdown. And this is where I am going to, this is where I want to stop. Steps of SWOT analysis: analyze the internal environment and external environment, then perform SWOT analysis and document, then prepare action plans for your SWOT. For the analyze internal and external environment, what are the weaknesses, or perhaps what are the strengths that you have within your organization that can help you move forward? Then the external environment, what are the threats and opportunities that come by? All right, so because of time, I may just have to skip through this. I think we still have a class on SWOT analysis only. So forgive me if I may have to skip as we come to the close of this particular class. All right. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate. All right. So I'll be handing over to Mr. Michael to continue from here. All right, please, Mr. Michael, over to you. All right, Mr. Michael, if you can hear me, please, over to you.